So Screen Rants came out with this list of 8 anime that are worse than you remember, and it is terrible. Now, just a warning before we get into it, some of them are just some of the worst anime to be on this list possible, and I'm going to make a part 2 where I go over my 8 anime that aren't as good as you remember, but this list is terrible. Starting off strong, they put Death Note here. They are saying that Death Note is not as good as you remember. Death Note is one of the highest rated anime of all time, and one of the greatest anime of all times. A thriller, a psychological, it is fantastic. And to say it's not as good as people think, wild. Rosario plus Vampire, I mean, I could give or not give this show, like, it's good for what it is, but everyone knows it's just a garbage haramechi. Another one I disagree with, Sword Art Online. I mean, the first arc is unironically good. I've watched it a bunch of times. Yeah, sure, arcs 2, 3, and 4 aren't that great, but I hear Our Realization is pretty good. Fairy Tail, yeah, I mean, it's just not a great shonen at all, especially near the start. Then we have Elfen Lied. I mean, yeah, it is just kind of gory and, like, very thrillery for the sake of it, because no other anime really did it at that time. The story is kind of, like the whole overall anime is kind of eh. Definitely nostalgia and kind of, like, the shock factor that a lot of people rated it high. Another garbage take, Angel Beats. This is one of the greatest romance shows of all time, and also one of the saddest shows of all time, and they're saying it's not as good as you remember. It is such a good show. And they have the nerve to put, like, what, the 3rd highest rated anime of all time here? I literally think Steins Gate is universally loved and dubbed as one of the greatest shows of all time. Like, this has to be rage bait. This is perfectly valid. Future Diary, I mean, it's garbage. It's not a good show at all. But yeah, go to my next video to see my opinion on the 8 shows that aren't as good as you remember.